Now, I think what's by far the most exciting thing about the future of the Star Wars universe is that we have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni really inserting tons of Star Wars Legends material to come for these new Star Wars TV shows that are actively being worked on by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that, yes, given that Kathleen Kennedy is only involved with the Acolyte TV series on a creative scale, that's one thing that we all should be proud of, is that on the other hand of things here, we also have Jon and Dave really working at their very best to make Mandalorian Season 3 and 4 by far the most anticipated TV shows to arrive on Disney Plus because of exactly what it's going to connect to. Now, those two seasons are going to be very important because it's going to unveil a lot of beloved characters. We're talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn. We're also talking about the return of a young version of Luke Skywalker coming back into the mix and more. So, The Mandalorian is basically the center of the Star Wars universe, where all of the other projects that are being worked on surround The Mandalorian in different ways. And that's exactly how Jon and Dave are approaching the Star Wars universe right now. So one thing that is very interesting, this is a huge development related to Jon Favreau and exactly what's happening with some of the TV shows out there. Alright, given that they are working on a dozen plus TV shows, that's a lot of workload. I mean, they got more TV shows coming out, in 2023 and 24 and so on and so forth. More to be announced this fall, as well as in 2022 at Star Wars Celebration, so this is going to be a big deal for Disney Star Wars. However, what's really intriguing about all of this involves a Star Wars writer and Jon Favreau as a creator, and exactly how this also involves the Disney higher-ups. Now, specifically, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are primarily focused on their new Star Wars projects, such as Star Wars Kenobi, very exciting by the way, and even Star Wars Ahsoka. Creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively developing their new Star Wars projects, for example, such as the reformed version of Rangers that is also currently in the works, where it's described, however, that there have been some significant changes behind the scenes for the reformed version of Rangers, where Jon Favreau behind the scenes is actually making major impacts to the overall Disney Plus platform, where Jon Favreau recently fired a Star Wars writer from the series. Now, this particular co-writer was also attached to other projects and was more described to be with Kathleen Kennedy's vision of the franchise moving ahead, and that this writer actually wanted to incorporate many of Kathleen Kennedy's original concepts from her Star Wars universe before she lost her creative power over the majority over those projects. So on top of this, it's further described, however, that Jon Favreau was given the go-ahead to fire the Star Wars writer from the series by the higher-ups over at Disney, including Disney CEO Bob Chapek and others, where the writer also wanted to insert many of Kathleen Kennedy's original character concepts for Rangers to replace them with Jon Favreau's idea of inserting characters like Luke, Leia Organa, Hera Syndulla, and others, such as a de-aged version of Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian in the mix. This co-writer wanted nothing to do with that for many of the episodes that Jon Favreau is actively writing as we speak, as he gets closer to finishing the scripts for Mandalorian Season 3 and others as well. However, it's unclear who this actual Star Wars writer was, but Favreau is in the process of having Dave Filoni step in as a co-writer for those 3 major episodes for the reformed TV series. Now, I don't know if you guys recall what happened with Rangers. This is a lot of drama behind the scenes. The main reason as to why Jon Favreau had to essentially redo Rangers of the New Republic, it's going to be getting a brand new title. The scripts are being redone, a lot of characters are being taken out and new ones being put in. This all originated from the Gina Carano firing. And Gina Carano's Cara Dune was supposed to be the main character of that show. So basically this was going to be a Cara Dune TV series that would actually be a post-Return of the Jedi TV show. Showing the fans exactly what happened right after the Battle of Endor. We're talking about days, weeks, or even months after the Battle of Endor, leading up to the Battle of Jakku, which takes place 1 year after the Battle of Endor. So that's what Jon Favreau is still going to pretty much explore. He's going to explore that short period, all right, that small time frame of when the Empire tries to recuperate, has their last stand, and ends up getting defeated by the rebellion. And it's going to be very interesting to see that in live action form. So far, we have only read this in books. When it comes to the Battle of Jakku and the Empire finally falling and the beginning of the rise of the First Order, it's going to be a very interesting process to see how Jon's going to handle that. As far as this writer goes, I'm glad that he got rid of him or her. You know, this writer seems like, honestly, that they wanted nothing to do, or he or she wanted nothing to do with Jon Favreau's work, with bringing back characters like Luke, Leia, and Lando Calrissian, among others as well, such as Syndulla, in the new Rangers TV show, which, by the way, this fall, they're going to unveil the brand new title of that show. So we're not quite sure exactly what that title is going to be, if it's going to be similar, if it's going to have Republic in the title or not, that we don't know. But it is going to have a brand new title that's going to be unveiled with a new logo this fall. So keep your eyes open for maybe the October to November time frame of this year, where you're going to actually be able to see what this new TV show is going to be called. Now, about this writer, the fact that he or she was sided more so with Kathleen Kennedy's original concepts of Rangers of the New Republic and was really just not having it with Jon Favreau, and how that ultimately led to Favreau pretty much getting fed up and bringing it up to the higher-ups over at Disney to finally allow the higher-ups over at Disney giving him permission to let, you know, this writer go and to fire this writer. And the fact that he's replacing this writer with Dave Filoni as a co-writer, very interesting progression, absolutely interesting, because now you have Jon and Dave working on the 3 most important episodes of Rangers, which, by the way, they are pushing it for it to be a total of 16 episodes for this show. Very similar to the Star Wars Andor TV series, which, by the way, is filming as we speak. That's also going to be 16 episodes. That's a lot more than the traditional 8 that The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 has. So you can see, slowly but surely, Disney is trying to add more and more episodes onto their TV shows to make them longer and more in-depth, exploring more character development, exploring more worlds and environments and character scenarios. I'm very excited to see exactly what's to come by Jon and Dave and what they all have up their sleeve. I mean, they are said to have a lot of surprises also for The Mandalorian Season 3. Even Dave Filoni said the Force is strong with that season. And that directly connects to the leaks that Luke, Ahsoka, and others out there are going to band together in a very, very interesting way that we have never seen before against the mighty Grand Admiral Thrawn. So like I've said before in the past, guys, I think that Jon Favreau knows what he's doing. He really has his head on straight. Let me know what you guys think about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to